Hi muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and hearing what I have to say, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say below. This is going to be an intense one, but before we get into that, we are staying consistent and we are doing the internet hug, so get ready, we're going to go in. Y'all are loving this, I'm loving it, it's wholesome, it's sweet, so we're going in for our internet hug. Again, I'm going to tell you that you smell great today because you do. So we have our little mucker moment, and now we are fine to get into the video. We've had our initial connection, and I feel like we're intertwined now and we can get on with the video. So hi, welcome. I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so a couple of weeks ago we made a video on this channel and we talked about it that Trisha Paytas is going to be a mother. Now Trisha had briefly posted on her Instagram story a picture of her in one of the hospital gowns that means that you're getting worked on down below. It's kind of a specific one that means that below the waist is getting worked on, or at least inspected, or some sort of treatment. And so immediately whenever it was just that post, people were like, oh, maybe Trisha is starting the fertility treatment because Trisha has talked about the fact that, she wanted to do this. It's kind of the next step after the wedding. We know that Trisha likes to, keep things going very quickly. And also Trisha is in her 30s and has talked about the fact that she would like to get pregnant in her 30s. So it was kind of like a natural progression that people came to the conclusion. And then Trisha further included the speculating because she posted a sticker that said hashtag we build families or something along the lines. And people looked into the name and the company, and it was basically a fertility adoption center, basically everything that had to do with building families. And a lot of people started reaching out to this particular organization, this particular company, and we're letting them know about Trisha and Moses. And Trisha talks about that in the video that we're gonna, talk about now. And I have a bunch of notes. I've done my research for today's video. Y'all will be happy to know. But that was a really big thing that happened, and Trisha hasn't spoken about it since because the company, the We Support or We Build Families, got a lot of harassment and a lot of hate from people basically being like, don't do this, don't allow Trisha and Moses, these people, to go forward with treatment. And first of all, kind of spoilers, it wasn't even the company that they were working with. Trisha goes on to clarify that. She said it was just a sticker in the facility that they were in. So she was like, people were harassing this place for no reason whenever it was not even what they were going for. And a lot of people have been asking for my particular opinion on the fact that people were reaching out to the center to let them know about Trisha and Moses. I don't support it. I think it's none of the viewer's responsibility to necessarily reach out to any facility center to tell them not to allow someone to have a child. And the reason for that is because these people, these companies, reach into these people's histories anyway. So for, a bunch of people on Twitter to do it, it does nothing. I know people think that they are, solving the greatest case of ever by reaching out to hashtag we build families, we support families, and being like, don't let Trisha and Moses, do your treatment. It's really not doing anything in the long run. It's just harassing a bunch of workers who really don't give a shit, because if Trisha and Moses were with this, facility, they would have done their own research into Trisha and Moses and continued to do it. And if it was an adoption center, even more thorough. So the fact that people just took it upon themselves, not only does it do nothing, it's just incredibly weird. But anyway, I want to get straight to the notes, but Trisha uploaded this video and it's called Our Fertility Journey Begins. And it's almost at 200,000 views, which for a Trisha Paytas video is actually performing well because Trisha has not been, having the most successful videos recently. But I'm going to go through my notes here from the video, and then I'm going to show you a couple snippets in the video. So this is what I've taken from the video. So we now have it confirmed. They are looking to get pregnant, and it seems, again, spoilers, that they are going to get pregnant very soon, both Trisha and Moses. So Trisha initially starts talking about people leaving negative comments, and she says that anyone who does that and talks about anyone's body or her fertility journey, or anyone's fertility journey for that matter of fact, is the worst person in the world. Then she goes on to say that her first test said that her tubes were blocked and scarred, and she was told that she would never get pregnant. And now, if you've kept up with Trisha for a while, throughout the different relationships she's been in, whether it was Jason, whether it was Sean, she has kind of talked about the fact that she would like to get pregnant in each one of them relationships. And in each of them, she's always followed that up with, I can't get pregnant because I've been told that my tubes are tied, my tubes are scarred, and it has been a very consistent thing that Trisha has put out there. However, we go on to find out that that's not true. And Trisha says that that's not the truth, and she later got it clarified now as a 33-year-old woman that it is completely different than what it was whenever she was 29 years old. And she is, happy about that because it basically means that she can get pregnant whenever she thought for all this time that she couldn't. So then she goes on to say, she talks about taking the picture of the sticker, which we talked about, of the We Build Families, and how people were harassing the center, and she said that it wasn't even the one that they were at. So for people to do that initially was disgusting, but the fact they weren't even with that one and just this random center got a lot of harassment, Trisha said is disgusting. She said that these people are evil and that they're disgusting, and then she said that she was doing a lot of HSG tests, which is fertility tests. And she said, but this time, in the past, she's done those kind of tests, but now her and Moses are with an actual fertility doctor instead of with a huge center. It's more of a one-on-one connection with the fertility doctor who is guiding them through the journey and the end goal of getting them pregnant. So it's a one-on-one thing, one-on-one doctor, and that's what's happening now, which is so different than any relationship she's been in the past because they've always gone to fertility centers instead of going to one-on-one fertility doctors, if you get me. So then she goes on to say that she said she can still get pregnant, and a lot of the information that she got was from whenever she was younger and when she was 29. And also she says that they are considering adopting, but I think she kind of hints heavily at this video that she wants 4 children. 4. Boy. And she wants to adopt 2, and she wants to have twins through fertility, right? So, that's a handful. But she does go on to say that she thought, it's somewhere here in the notes, I'm skipping ahead just because it kind of links in with what I'm saying, but she said that a lot of the reasons that she was told she couldn't get pregnant, along with the scarring and tube problems, was that she said that she had a lot of STDs whenever she was younger, and she was told by doctors that point blank period, because of that, you've kind of burnt out your tubes. I remember hearing her say that in a video from years and years ago, and that was the reason that she kind of never even attempted to get pregnant naturally, but she has confirmed now, again, I'm jumping ahead of my notes, that they've been trying to get pregnant since October 2020. So they've been trying to get it since that, they haven't been successful, and they thought again that it was a problem with the tubes and that they couldn't get it, but now it's been clarified that they actually can get pregnant naturally, so both of them can. So she said that Moses has also been getting tested, and he has been doing different sperm treatments. So they're definitely going ahead to get pregnant in any way, whether it is adopting immediately or going through any test. But they also said that they're trying to naturally conceive at the exact same time. And she basically just said that she's in a rush to get pregnant, and if she could get pregnant tomorrow, she would. And now my comment on that, again, I fully respect the conversation. I'm not talking about someone's body, but whenever Trisha is coming on and making this so public, it does turn into a conversation. And Trisha is saying that if she could get pregnant tomorrow, she would. And if she could just have her babies tomorrow, she would. And I don't necessarily know, and I don't want to be overstepping my boundaries here, and I probably will, so I apologize. I don't necessarily know if Trisha knows how much it takes and how demanding being a parent is, because her and Moses are talking in this video and they're in the fertility treatment. They're like, if we could get pregnant today, we would. If we could have our babies tomorrow, we would. And it's like, their current lifestyle of traveling nonstop is not really the one you want to have whenever you have newborns, or the ones where, your house isn't really tidy. And again, I don't want to be overstepping my boundaries here, but again, they're putting it all out there. Whenever your house really isn't in the state for it, or, it's working through different things that are happening publicly. It's just, making sure that you are very, the most mentally healthy you think that you can be, so that you are not adding too much stress onto your life having a baby, and you're also putting the child first and doing what's right by the child. That's where I'm at with that. So anyway, she goes on to talk about, this has been messy, right? So Trisha talks in this video that she is genetically female and that she is fully female and a woman. Now, you're probably like, why am I specifying that? Trisha makes a big point in this video to keep clarifying that she feels like a woman and that she feels fully like a female and that she's genetically a female. And now this has caused, you might already know where I'm going with this has caused huge backlash online. Because Trisha, a couple months ago, came out as non-binary. And Trisha came out as using the pronouns they, them, which we were all respecting, and we were all doing it, and we were, being accepting, we were saying them, we were changing our terminologies and talking about Trisha. And for Trisha to drop that completely, and go back on everything she has been preaching, is very shady, including the fact that Trisha got Gabby Hanna so much backlash because Gabby Hanna referred to Trisha as like a woman or something like that. And Trisha got the entire internet to come after Gabby, like, how dare she disrespect this, how dare whatever, this is so disgusting. But now Trisha has seemingly in this video dropped everything that has to do with identifying as non-binary, identifying as they, them, and she is now saying that she knows that she is genetically a female and that she feels fully like a woman, which does completely contradict what Trisha has been preaching on all of her social medias for over a year now. And again, you can be very fluid in your gender, you can be very fluid in what pronouns you want to use, in everything, right? However, for Trisha to not really address that further is quite disappointing, because a lot of us were going ham on people that were disrespecting Trisha, even if we liked Trisha or not, because they weren't being respectful for that. And Trisha has seemingly just completely dropped that now whenever she is technically speaking about getting pregnant and stuff like that. However, you would still be able to technically speak about getting pregnant and still identify as non-binary and still be able to use the pronouns that, you know, you were so confident that was you, which is they, them. And again, you can be very fluid in that. You can change back and forth. You can, whatever you feel. And I'm 100% supportive of that. But it's very confusing that Trisha has seemingly just completely dropped it. And it's disappointing because it was a really big awareness for a lot of people learning about what Trisha was talking about with gender identity. And I remember she had a video where she was on her bed and she was kind of talking about, you know, that she's finally fully at the point where she knows that she's non-binary, and for that to all just be completely dropped for this video to be technically speaking is quite disappointing and also confusing. And I'm seeing a lot of people, specifically on TikTok, who are non-binary, speaking up that they're very hurt by this and they're very confused by this, is just kind of the overall take from this. And a lot of people now are like, okay, Trisha, how do you want us to address you? Because it's very confusing. So something to note as well, and that has caused a huge conversation online. So then Trisha said that the test was $700 and it was a fluid test. So whenever she was in the bed, it was basically trying out a bunch of different fluids to see how her tests or her chibs would respond to the test. And she said that it's going to be a very expensive process, but she's so ready for it and that Moses is really ready for it. And also, I do want to go through a couple comments on the video because I think they're very interesting. So the doctor said that she was clear to get pregnant. So the doctor called Trisha and said that, yep, you're clear to get pregnant. We see no problems. Your body is fully healthy and ready for it. So they are now trying, and again, since October 2020, Trisha further clarifies that she is 33 and that Moses is 44. She says that she starts her next cycle in a few days of filming the video that we're gonna, show a little bit of. So they're gonna be starting that process again. And she said because she's a later adult, she thought she couldn't get pregnant. And again, because of the STDs that she talked about, she thought that it was just completely out of the question. And again, a lot of her audience did. So anyway, she said if she could get pregnant with twins now, she could, and she would want to, And she said that she wants 4 kids. Now, before I get, so by the way, this video is literally just like Trisha in like the gown and then cuts back and forth from Trisha talking on the bed about the experience. I do just kind of want to read a couple of these comments. I actually haven't gone through these. I'm just going to read from here to here. We'll cut it off here. So someone said, all I can do is wish the baby good luck. And I wish Trisha guidance and pray that Moses is truthful in his intentions. Someone said, girl, as someone who's adopted, don't say we have been rehomed. We aren't pound pups. And I saw that Trisha was getting a lot of criticism for the way she was speaking about adoption from a lot of people who were adopted and also just regular folk who haven't been adopted, saying that it was incredibly disappointing and disrespectful the way she was talking about people who've been adopted and the adoption process. Someone said, I pray that having a child doesn't make Trisha spiral completely. As a young mom who has had multiple mental health issues, including bipolar type 2 and bipolar and BPD, being a mom is hard. There is nothing to prepare you for how emotionally and mentally challenging being a parent is, especially with a toddler with their own emotions and needs who never slow down and push you to the max daily. I pray for your strength and mental health and motherly instincts. I felt the best I've ever felt in my life whenever I was pregnant, but I've also felt the lowest I ever felt whenever I was a parent. It's scary. The thoughts that you go through and that go through your mind sometimes are so intense, and you have to have the strength to push through those moments because of the good times and the love that you feel when the mini you looks up at you with so much love in their eyes. Just please don't forget the reason you wanted to be a mom and what you're going through whenever you're going through the rough times. With all that being said, Trisha, good luck. I've watched you for 10 plus years and know that you've always talked about wanting to be a mother, and it's a dream of yours. I'll be praying for you and your growing little family. Someone else said, as someone who waited until they were ready and mature enough to have a child, motherhood still kicks my ass. It's harder than anything I've ever gone through. It's beyond rewarding, but realizing that you're fully responsible for another human life is incredibly scary. I've stayed up at night and cried at the thought of failing my son. It's the last thing to, think of this picture-perfect family. I went in imagining all of these cute things, and motherhood has been nothing like I ever envisioned, Trisha. It's important to know that it could be nothing that you thought, but you can't back out at any stage. Like it's not a dog that you can just give to your sister. I love my son and would never go back, but Trisha, it is not easy in the slightest. And then someone said, if she gave Moses the wish to give away the cats because she was jealous of the attention, just imagine what she'll do with the own child. All right, so a little bit of a mixed opinions. Now, this initial first section is when Trisha's talking about people harassing the center and trying to stop her from doing the fertility treatment. So I do want to focus on this clip in particular, and we're not really going to watch anything else because I have summarized the video, but this first part is really interesting, so let's get into it. Oh, sorry, I have it on 1x speed. Oh, I actually have it on 2x speed. That's how I watch Trisha videos.
This is our 4 seasons bed. Our bedroom is nowhere near being finished, but we have a bed and a mattress that we love, which is a really big feat because even in my last house, my bed and my mattress were horrible. So we have a lot to obviously do with the background. I know it's a weird setup. Sorry, it's kind of getting, I'm a little nervous. I'm kind of getting off topic, but I know the fireplace is behind us, but the windows.
Girl, come on, come on.
I staged it with like.
First of all, her shirt says just Maui'd because they got married in Maui. A lot to take in.
But if you guys have any ideas and you're being kind about it, let us know. We kind of we're treating this into like an Egyptian bedroom. We're like on
of course
stairs right now.
Okay, girl, let's get into it.
Oh, should we do a wet bowl? We definitely want to keep it Egyptian,
Here we go.
It's based on Joseph and his kind of.
Oh my fucking god.
If you are going to
Here we go.
be leaving any negativity on a person's fertility journey or whatever, then you're kind of just a shitty person to begin with. If you wish ill will on someone who's trying to conceive or something, you're just like a really, really bad person, first and foremost.
I'm also seeing a lot of people call out that Trisha's saying this and how much stress that Trisha was involved in giving Ela, and there were other people involved, but how much stress Ela, pregnant, got because of Trisha. And people are giving Trisha stress, in the fertility treatment. And a lot of people are calling out a double standard. I do just want to point that out.
Foremost, you're just a shitty person, especially when it comes to someone else's body. And having said that, I know a lot of people will be like, well, you're a shitty person too, Trisha. And it's like, you know what, I'm trying to change. I'm trying my best, and that's all I can do. And if you are the type of person who won't allow people to change, then you're just as bad as those people who refuse to change. Because that's how we as humans evolve. And that's my knowledge on that. Having said that, and people will still be like leaving nasty comments, and if that's where you need to get them out, then I guess feel free to do that, because I will definitely not be talking in the comments on this video, but I am making this video for
I'm sure she is.
Anybody who's going through it, because I have been watching fertility journey videos specifically about IVF and stuff like that, because we have a lot more options to explore before then, but we're kind of like at the beginning stages. So let me share my story with you guys. So I basically, the first time I tried to conceive with a partner, I went and got a test done. The test I just got done, the HSG test, where they said the tubes are blocked. The first time I went, they were like kind of smushed, and the second time I went, they were kind of like scarred. And so when you do an HSG test, they kind of shoot fluids through you to kind of like, one, test it out to see where your area is, and two, if they can open them up. And my original doctor was like, 85% of people after they have this test get pregnant in the 3 months following. I did it twice, did not get pregnant. So we did this little journey, which you guys, some people saw on Instagram.
All right, so there we've seen it. The Trisha talking. First of all, the last part I'm going to show you now is Trisha talking about people going after the center. But Trisha talking about the fact that they've done the test, which is a really high possibility that you do get pregnant after it, and she didn't, and they've done it twice, is quite interesting, and is probably why they might go down different routes with pregnancy. Because I remember I was talking to one of my friends about this, whose parents went through this test and they got pregnant the first time. It is quite high of a possibility that you do get pregnant after it. So for them to go through it twice and not, is kind of, not what really should be happening. But again, each body is different, and that's not criticizing the body at hand. Bodies are different, bodies take to things differently. Maybe it needs 3 times, maybe it needs 4 times. But it is interesting to note that, because that test normally does have a high success rate.
Stories.
Here we go.
And we're questioning what we're doing. They thought maybe we're getting implanted or something like that. Let me just insert a little bit of clips right here.
All right, I want to see whenever they talk about the test thing. Oh, by the way, you know what? We've already summarized it. So let's not. But I do just want to say that this video is really, like, in the nicest way possible. It's Trisha and Moses sitting down in the bed, and a lot of it is Moses filming Trisha and kind of talking about the fact that they're going on this journey and they're so excited. And then they're also talking about the fact that, it hasn't worked in the past, and, they now have the doctor, so it is going to work. And then they talk about the fact that Trisha's in a cycle, so they're just going to go home and try to naturally do it as well. So, I mean, if anything, I think they're going to get a lot of content out of this, and now that's not a compliment. I'm very against family channels, and I think the process of documenting fertility and opening up the conversation more about fertility is a beautiful thing, because it's not only normalizing it, but it's also a big creator talking about it, regardless of who it is. But whenever it crosses into family channel territory, which is not going to happen until if a baby is born or they adopt, that's whenever I'm going to fully cross the line. And I'm seeing a lot of people being like, I can't wait to talk about whenever they have a family channel and criticize it. And it's like, let me tell you something. If they ever have a baby and there's drama with it, if we ever cover it on this channel, you're not seeing that baby's face. I am so against family channels. I'm so against the exploitation of children and then not having a say in, if they're on camera, being exploited until at least they're, I think, 18, but a lot of people think 16. I know H3 talked about it, and they're saying that they don't want to show Theodore until he's 16 and can make up, his own mind. And I think that that's how we should be normalizing this. But anyway, this video, as you can see, really isn't anything in this section. It cuts in and out of Trisha talking, but I've summarized everything. But just kind of show you, it's them documenting the process of getting this test done, and Trisha and Moses talking.
It kind of gives a preview of your hair if it was kind of...
So, as you can see, that is that. But I want to know your opinion on all of this. I want to know your opinion on the comment section, their, feedback on it. I just think it's alarming that Trisha's like, if I could have a baby tomorrow, I would, because it's like so much goes into this. And I don't know. I want to know where you're at with it. I really appreciate you watching this video, and I hope you're doing well. And I really am grateful that you decided to be here. And I'll see you in my next one, and bye. Mwah.